Today, I'm going to teach you how to properly don an ACE wrap to your ankle or your knee. As a physical therapist, I have seen some very interesting wrapping jobs that people have done walking into my clinic that have not been very effective in what an ACE wrap is supposed to do. An ACE wrap should provide enough compression that it will help reduce swelling in a joint and give just a little bit of support to the joint and make it feel a little more stable. It's a nice thing to have in your dance bag if in case you're injured or in case something kind of doesn't feel right or feels like it's swollen. So let's get started and let me show you proper wrapping techniques. So I'm going to start with a basic figure 8 wrap for the ankle. This is about a 4-inch wide ACE wrap. This is about the size that you want for the ankle, no wider. Then when you start with it in your hand, you want to roll it out this way, not this way. The reason for that is if I have it here improperly and I'm going around and it gets out of my hand, it's going to roll all over the place. If you hold it in the other direction, with this part up, if you're wrapping and it starts to get out of your hand, you still have it. Okay, so first thing, hold the ACE wrap properly. The second thing is you want to keep this roll close to the skin as you go around. What I see quite frequently is people stretch it out and then they try to go around. That's going to be too much force and this can get out of your hand easily and it can get out of control. So you want to keep the roll very close to the skin as you're wrapping. You always wrap distal to proximal because we want to push the fluid up the leg. We don't want to push the fluid down to the toes if you're swollen. So always start at the base of the toes. You don't want to cover your toes, right at the base, and then we're going to work our way up. So the most compression is going to be distal, less compression as we go up. You want it to be snug and secure, but not uncomfortable or cutting off your circulation. All right. So we're going to start right at the base of the toes, and I'm keeping it close, and I hold that portion that I just put down. And so it's pretty snug here, and you want to apply this without any wrinkles. The wrinkles are going to be problematic, so you want it nice and flat and smooth. Then I'm going to overlap a little bit with the second. So I'm doing a spiral. The third one overwraps a little bit more, so at least half the width is covered up with the ACE wrap. My heel is still free. Now at this point, I'm pretty close to my heel. So I'm going to go around the ankle. This is where the figure 8 comes in, but you want to keep it low. So I don't want to wrap way up here. I'm keeping it really close to the ankle bone, covering it there. Again, no wrinkles. Okay, so this is the figure 8 part. I'm going to go around the top, and then I'm going to go around the bottom of the foot. Okay, no wrinkles. Now you can see a portion of my heel is still exposed. I'm going to go up over the top and cover that exposed part of the heel. Okay, and then I'm going to go down. Okay, so now all the skin on my heel is covered. It's a little bit wrinkly, so I'm going to pull out those wrinkles. And now I'm going to finish out by overlapping and going on up. So the last little part, I double up at the top, and then you can secure it using your little fastener. Okay, usually people lose these things. I've already lost one of these, so I only have one there. If you don't have a fastener, you could use a piece of masking tape to put it there, or easy cheat is you just take the top and tuck it in. Okay, so that's allowed. So this is snug. It's covering every bit of my skin. Okay, there are very few wrinkles here, if any at all. And it's going distal to proximal. And so if my toes are turning blue, or if it is so snug that it's uncomfortable, I'm going to take this off and read on it. Okay, if the figure 8 wrap is a little too fancy for you and you want to learn something super simple just to give a little compression to the joint to help with swelling and a little support, you can do a straight up spiral wrap. So same thing, we're going to start distal, right at the base of the toes. You're going to hold that ace wrap properly. You're going to keep that roll by your skin, not somewhere out here, by your skin. And you just give a little bit of stretch as you go around. So that's my anchor wrap right at the base of the toes. And then I'm just going to overlap little by little all the way. So now I'm overlapping at the heel. So I'm not doing that figure 8 here. I'm just overlapping. And then at the very end, I just go straight over and I'm done. So all parts of my heel are covered, okay? So that's what we want, no skin showing. I have compression distal to proximal and I just spiraled it up and then you can fasten here. Right, when you put away the ace wrap, that is not the way to do it. You can't cheat and say, okay, where's the end? I'm just kind of hold it in my hand as I reapply. This is going to be a mess reapplying. So as tedious as it is, you need to grab the very end of it and roll it back up until you have a neat little ball of ace wrap again to start with. So every time you use it, before you store it and put it away, it's a good idea to go ahead and roll it back up. And now for the knee. This is that same 4-inch wide ace wrap. For the knee, since you have a wider circumference of the leg here than at the ankle, you can use a 5-inch wide, a little bit wider ace wrap if you like. So I'm going to start distal to proximal, just below that little bone in the front of your shin, okay, your tibial plateau right there. I am going to go right below that little plateau, and remember to hold this ace wrap correctly. Do not flip it the other way. If you drop it out of your hand, you're going to be in trouble. So I'm going to keep the roll against my body as I go around. And again, you want to apply the most compression distally and a little less as we go up the joint. Now it's going to be hard to wrap the knee if it's bent. So I'm going to straighten it out. And then I'm going to overlap and spiral up the leg as I go. So I'm overlapping about half, okay, of what the ace wrap. So I'm overlapping by about 1.5 inches. And I just keep going above the knee joint. Then I overlap so that I have a place that I can put my little fastener. And if you don't have that fastener, remember you can just tuck in the edge. So every part of my skin is covered here. When I bend the knee, there's no part of skin showing. So this is a good ace wrap. If it's so tight, you cannot bend your knee at all. If you're stuck out here and you can't bend, take it off, make it a little bit looser. Okay, it should feel snug, but not restricting and definitely not uncomfortable. I would practice these wrapping techniques before you need to implement them. Just once you grab an ace wrap, buy an ace wrap, practice using it. Practice wrapping your ankle, practice wrapping your knee. So if and when the time comes, you know what to do. And if you happen to have this in your dance bag and a friend needs it, maybe you can help them wrap their ankle or knee. The ace wrap should only be used temporarily for immediate injury, okay, to give it a little support and help reduce swelling. It also helps with the pain a bit. It can be used on and off for like a week or so, but you shouldn't be using it continually if you're having pain. You need to go see a doctor if the pain and swelling continues past 24 hours. You should never wear an ace wrap for class. The ace wrap is not designed for that. If you need a brace or a splint, you shouldn't be taking class. Sometimes a physical therapist will use kinesiotaping or other types of taping to help stabilize a joint or to help. The tape is used as training wheels. The tape is not an ACE wrap. It's an adhesive that sticks directly to the skin, and it could be either used to restrict range of motion, or in the case of kinesiotaping, it can help facilitate a muscle to act, or it can help inhibit a muscle from firing that's causing troubles. So taping is used as training wheels. It's not a forever thing either, or at least it shouldn't be. So a licensed physical therapist or an athletic trainer can help tape your ankle appropriately if that's what you need as part of your rehabilitation. And they can help teach you those techniques if you need to do it for an extended period of time just to get you through. But that should not be a forever solution. If the ACE wrapping is too difficult for you and you really are not comfortable with it, here's your alternative, an athletic sock. Okay, so you want something stretchy so that when you put it on, it's going to be snug. All right, so I'm going to put on my little athletic sock here, and you want it coming up above the ankle. Okay, so this is providing some compression to my ankle and foot. So having a pair of athletic socks is terrific in your dance bag. The other thing you can use is a really stretchy pair of knee highs, okay? Even ones that come over the knee, or a pair of leg warmers that come up over the knee, something that is pretty compressive when you put it on. Not the baggy, saggy leg warmers, the ones that actually give a little compression. That'd be an awesome thing to have in your dance bag, especially for knee or pain and problems swelling up the leg, okay? So if the ACE wrap is just too difficult or too cumbersome for you to figure out, having a sock or having a thigh high or a leg warmer that gives compression is a really good alternative for that.